Start recording.
Right. This is the September board meeting of the Netarts-Oceanside Sanitary District. This is being recorded. I'm calling the meeting to order. The first item is approval of the agenda. A motion to approve the agenda.
I so move.
Second.
And I would propose one change or addition, basically under correspondence, the email from Pam Zelinsky regarding SDC reductions. That's close to what you had. So we'll just add that in. So we have, all in favor of approving the agenda with that one change, say aye.
Aye.
Yes, we have none. Public comments, none. Board questions, comments, and discussion. Is there any? Quiet group this evening.
Why does the water run downhill?
All right, we have the minutes of August 21st, 2025. Motion to approve the minutes.
I'll move to approve the minutes of August 21st, 2025.
I'll second it.
There's no discussion.
I did not notice anything when I looked through the minutes.
If there are no changes, all in favor of accepting the board minutes as written, say aye. Aye. August 31st, financial statements for review of all funds. Motion to accept the financial statements.
I so move.
I'll second that.
Any discussion?
During the debt service fund.
That's a big red number.
We already planned for that for this year, a couple months, November.
Yeah.
I just.
If there's no discussion, all in favor of accepting the financial statements of August 31st, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Next item is the board audit and accounts payable.
The $5,815.96 charge for generator fuel pump stations. That's just
Top them off for the winter.
okay.
It's about the time you see that. Of course, fuel prices are higher right now.
Came in at a pretty. I was surprised how much it was. It's a lot of fuel.
It's a lot, well, the same amount of fuel, it's just a lot more money.
Yeah. Yeah.
The charge for QD to do the audit, is that like just a fixed charge, at a time what they're gonna charge?
Also, to answer your question, just added in, Cindy, is that we do this about once a year.
Mhm.
And when we did it last year, it was $3.09 a gallon, and now it's $4.11 a gallon for the.
And
So does that also include the gasoline?
No, this
Or
is
this is
strictly
strictly-
generator off-road diesel.
All right,
Yeah, so it's just for emergency generator.
and do we have to drain those tanks periodically? Stuff to keep them from falling or?
We add an additive to the tanks that prohibits the growth of algae. And diesel, that's usually what we get is
Yeah.
algae. Then we have fuel filters that are changed out. You'll still get a sludge buildup, but it does not draw all the way to the bottom of the tank. It's up 2 or 3 inches from the bottom. So if you look on page 2, go down to fund for reserve fund, the 17,422. It didn't get paid last year when it was invoiced. So the only thing I can think of what happened was when I received the invoice, I put it in my file for the project, but never gave it to the office to pay. So we had gotten I got an email from Northwest Electric asking if we were holding it because we have an oil leak in the generator, the new portable generator. And he thought I was holding payment for that. Well, one, legally, I can't hold payment for that. I told him, oh, he said, or it just slipped through the cracks, and it slipped through. They were fine. They took the payment. Still haven't fixed the generator yet, but he is diligently working on it. I'm CC'd the emails with the company that they.
is that still in the warranty?
Yeah. Even if it's not, it's already in to be repaired.
Okay,
So this will be the second time I'll have to come out and repair that oil leak.
really? Second time?
First time the tech said that the valve at the bottom that you drain the oil with was loose, so he tightened it up, but it didn't stop the oil leak. So now they know the valve is bad. I can't believe it's been out of stock 8 months and they have no projected arrival for new. How are they producing generators? How are they manufacturing generators?
That's a little scary if you're
Well,
there.
so because the last I was involved with was in the email chain was they were arguing who was going to pay for the new oil. So I'm letting them work it out. I'm just kept in the chain by North Electric on what's going on with that. We can still use it. It's not pouring out oil, it's dripping oil. But we can still use it if there's an emergency. The operators will just have to keep an eye on the oil level. It's not like, it's not like if it ran all night, it would run out of oil. But it is dripping and leaking, they do need to fix it.
Right, any other questions? Next item is the district report.
The treatment plant's running well within its permit limits. I've contacted Bayside Surveying. I've been having a problem in getting a hold of them. Well, my contact information is back when I think Jerry Jones owned it. Well, he sold it several years ago. That's why he's not been responding to my voicemails and not responding to my emails. So I got his cell phone number. I found that in my contacts in my cell phone. I called him. He said, I sold it 5 years ago. So he updated all my contacts for Bayside Surveying and they got back to me immediately. So we're getting that set up. I sent him the information for that tax lot. Remember we told him we don't know if the easements, if the sewer line's in where the easement is recorded. So he's got paperwork. He's got, go to the counties. He's got to do stuff like that. It'll be about 2 months. So we're looking at December before he does the actual physical survey. And then we'll contact the property owners to let them know what's going on. So the draft IGA that we're sending to Netarts Water District, I thought was sent out a couple of weeks ago. It wasn't. It was sent out this week. It was sent out on Monday or Tuesday
of this week.
of this week.
Okay.
So I did verify that. It is sent out, but it was just sent out. That's why we haven't heard anything.
Probably they're gonna have, whenever their board meeting is, which I don't quite remember what day of the week and of the month is, but whatever that cycle is, probably we're gonna wait till that meeting occurs.
They should have it in time for their next board meeting.
Yeah, yeah.
So I'm figuring that I'm assuming that once they receive it, they'll probably contact us and ask us what it's about, what do we want? And think that, so I'm not gonna.
Well, it depends, since it came from our attorney, they may hand it over to their attorney.
Yeah, so
So.
we have to wait and find out.
Yeah.
But I'm updating the board, we should know, we should hear something by now, our next board meeting. Pump stations, number 2, the Ocean Highlands, pump station generator. We wanted wait for a full board meeting, a full attendance of all the board to discuss this. So put it back on you now, John.
Says board action none though, that's what you guys wrote.
Yeah, I wrote no board action. I don't know what the board is doing yet.
Let's just open it up to some discussion. Apparently, according to our auditor, there's some restrictions on how the unit could be disposed of.
Yeah.
So I don't know what the thoughts of the board are, but we're apparently somewhat limited in should we decide to dispose of the unit, who we could transfer it to, or perhaps sell it. Thoughts?
What are the restrictions?
So one of the restrictions is you cannot donate it to any private nonprofit. Okay, you have to put it up by resolution, you have to put it up for sale. And then it's a bid process from whoever bids on it. You can donate it, surplus it then donate it to another public entity. Fire district, water district, sewer district, city, things like that.
Yeah. Can you use it?
I think that's the generator we talked about maybe using for Friends Church.
Right.
So,
Now you do know it's 3-phase. I think it's 35 kW. It will definitely run a church.
yes, yeah, we have 3-phase for our air compressors at the station. And our electrician is pretty familiar with hooking them up. So we pay for Friends Church to get that transfer switch put in.
So will that need to run through legal counsel? They'll have to write the resolution transferring, it'll list in there how you can authorize it and then how you're going to dispose of it. So I can go back to the attorney and tell them, well, the district decided that they wanted to donate it to X entity, public entity, or they decided, no, they're going to put it up for sale. Then the resolution will reflect your decision on how.
How easy is that thing to move around? I haven't seen it.
It's not huge. I mean, you could put it on a small car trailer and move it.
Okay.
I mean, it's not like for sure, but yeah, you can.
So do you need authority to accept it? Do you have to go back to your board?
No. So we've already got, if we need an IGA or something, or after the resolution is done, it's no longer here. So I don't think we need an IGA.
You will need some sort of a crane or something like that. I think it does have.
We'll have Burden. Just come pick it up.
I think that the donation would be consistent with the collaboration that we've been conducting on emergency issues in general, which that chapel is going to be designated, or it is designated, I guess, but you're still equipping it as an assembly center. So that provides an objective rationale other than the fact that, the fire department's just a good guy and he's on the board.
It does not come with a transfer switch.
Yeah,
You read this one, so you'll have to look at.
Yeah, we'll get one put in by the electrician.
Well, I would say give Jeff a chance to look at it to make sure there's no surprises. And
I
if
think
you,
it's in good shape, right? I mean, it runs, it's,
It's,
The problem with it, it's just obsolete.
You can't rebuild
You can still get parts for the generator portion, at the back. You cannot get engine rebuild parts for it. But when we pulled it out, we took it in to Tillamook Diesel. They checked it all out. They took it apart. They looked at it and they said it's fine. Only caveat is if it breaks
There's no
down,
parts.
it's limited on what parts you can get to regenerate.
but for disaster preparedness, it would be.
Yeah, because you're not gonna depend on it probably like you do, or, we have to meet the state and DEQ and EPA, guidelines on what's required for a pump station.
I was just, the reason I asked you to take a look at it is we don't want to send it to our lawyer to draft a resolution and then discover. that it's-
No, I think we're good. We kind of talked last time that it was running and had been checked and things like that, so,
And you can come up and we can take out, show it to you. It's pretty much.
yeah. As long as Brian's willing to come work on it all the time.
So you go on
Isn't
board
Dan
and
these?
Well, I think the board action needs to be, I don't know, to have it transferred ownership to the fire district. I think that should be the detail in the resolution.
I didn't know if you wanted us to authorize you to have the resolution drafted up or anything.
Well, I kind of think so. That's the direction you're offering, is the board has to authorize to surplus it. So you're authorizing to transfer ownership of it. Then I have to get with the auditor after we do that, so that it can come off assets list. Then it comes off our insurance coverage.
so I move that we surplus the old Ocean Highland generator and donate it to the fire department. It's use.
Netarts-Oceanside.
Right.
I just offer a friendly amendment and any associated actions need to be made from that.
I'll second that.
Do you have what you need? Okay. And all in favor of the motion, say aye.
Aye.
All right.
Aye. You're gonna get it.
Should I abstain or? Since
think
I'm
so.
accepting,
I think we should.
so I'll abstain from.
Okay,
Congratulations, you're the pottery.
Of a 3,000 pound bouncing baby.
Obsolete generator.
6,000, 10,000, yeah.
It's a lot more than 3,000.
that isn't exactly the kind of machine that you just roll along
Yeah, this is,
with a handle.
yeah, this is not the jackery that we put out in the comments box. Pastor Aaron's gonna be very surprised when put that in the shed. But it'll light the whole neighborhood, so that's good.
We have a little grace with him because Rob and who went up with him to clean out his gutters today?
Yeah.
Craig went to clean the gutters at the chapel. Like, he got
Oh,
awful.
at Oceanside or
Yeah.
oh,
it was
this one's-
growing in it.
Pastor
This
Aaron's
one's
over
gone.
at Friends Church?
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah, Netarts, right?
That's for Tim, Tim Mates at Oceanside.
Well, apparently there's been, a few leaks that have gotten into the
Yeah,
foundation of the church. And the one thing that I noticed a couple weeks ago, there's stuff growing in the gutters. So, I mean, you get those cleaned out. Maybe
Make
that will
drain.
solve the problem of water running over the gutters
yeah.
onto the ground. Perhaps, I don't know.
Oh,
But they went and cleaned everything out today. That's great. Okay,
Okay, so we have, I wasn't here to update this, I was gonna have copies, but the cost to service and load test the two generators, the one at the wastewater treatment plant here on site and the one at Happy Camp Pump Station, probably about just a little over 7,000 between the two. We do these every few years. I'll have the guys give me the next list of the next ones that are due. I think we'll get two more done this year, roughly the same size generators, so about the same size, same account.
Is it the Cummins guy or?
So it's about $7,000 to do two. I think it's 3,000.
Yeah.
happy camp and it was balancing, because this is a larger generator here. The only thing that came back on the report was they recommend us changing the batteries, the starting batteries on them. They want them changed every 3 years. We use a better quality battery. We usually get 5 years out. It's approaching that on some of them, but they recommend it. But that's a standard recommendation. Last month, I reported on the concrete at the headworks. When the engineers come up, when we do some more work at the Avalon pump station site, I'll have them say, I don't want to pay them just to come up and have a look at that. They're not going to fix it all. So I've already spoke with West Tech Engineering, and they'll just include that as an inspection of that headworks when they come up for the Avalon pump station meeting. So we are in pre-design still. I just finally got to meet with PUD on the power requirements. So I went through that with them. Now I'll hand that off to the electrical engineers. Once we know, now that we know what amount of power they can supply. We still don't know if it's going to be overhead or underground yet. PUD doesn't know which direction they're going to go on that. But now that we have that, now it should start moving a little quicker, because now they can finalize the design on equipment and what kind of electrical draw that's going to require the PUD. So that's the phase I've been waiting to get to. That's where you'll start to see it move a little quicker. The office Center Logic on Monday finished the change over, the swap over to SharePoint or the cloud. So that is done. We're on it now. It doesn't seem to be a huge transition. I mean, we had a lot of logging back in because we no longer use the server in the server room. So that was up for replacement. I think it was $8,000. And it was also part of the training class I had this morning. They're recommending the cloud for cybersecurity reasons. And the FBI representative gave a whole list of stuff that cyber these days, what's going on, that they're actually tracking the stuff and hacking into stuff faster than they can put stops in place. So.
And the cloud is somehow safer.
The cloud is, yeah, because you don't actually, there's an additional, I'm going to call it an additional firewall. So here, if somebody opens an email, lets in ransomware, they can't do that to the cloud. They can do it here because you're now allowing them into your server. This is if they do open it now, it's not 100% they can't get there, but it's one more step they have to break to get into the cloud.
And they can't somehow or another hack messages going back and forth.
They can. I'm gonna have to meet with all the operators on their laptops and the office staff on their computers. We're gonna have to be more diligent and may require us to change our policy on internet use. This will include emails. When you're not sure, you should have your IT company check your email before you open it. If it's something that you don't recognize, and this is what makes it tricky, because they also jumped in that they can look realistic. They can make it look like we just got an invoice from West Tech, or we just got an invoice from PUD or something like that. That's how sophisticated it's getting. So, but there are, and I'm going to show them probably tomorrow, there are some things that you hover your mouse over who is sending the email. That is one thing that you can do, and that will show, wait a minute, I've never, yeah, that doesn't look familiar. One of the backups is to call PUD or call somebody, did you send me this email? So there are a couple of things on the email you can hover on with your mouse, and it should help you, but they did warn us that it is smarter to have your IT look at it if you have any questions, especially if they're trying to send you a pay now invoice. Okay. if you click on that, that's all they need. They don't need you to pay anything. They just need to let you, you let them in. So, and then we'll have to also look at probably changing our policy to include cell phones that, the district, you can't, on your district phones, you can't just download apps. If you find something that maybe be an enhancement to, short circuit something on your security, so it's quicker to log in or log out, or, stuff like that was real big. That, we put it in we changed our policy to reflect that no employee is allowed to download apps or things like that, do not go through IT security first. Apps are one of your weakest, apps on phones, they said, are one of your weakest ones that are easiest to get into. Plus our cell phones are connected to our server or, now to the cloud.
Mhm.
So it gives them an additional easier way to get in. So we will be looking at policies on that once I get some more information on that, which SDO, I requested that, and they have templates too on how to update your policies and stuff like that.
Did you have anything to say about the HVAC?
The HVAC is still mid-October. It's been moved out. So I did contact him while I was in the hotel room last night. They finally got back to me, and he said that he's not getting any, they're still sticking with the mid-October date. They won't give him a hard date, but it's mid-October. So, yes, we're getting into,
Starting to cool off.
Yeah.
Aaron's wearing a coat.
so I didn't put it on here. I'm still working on it. I did do some updates on the operations summary. I didn't update the date because I haven't completed it yet.
So back to the HVAC thing. Are these portable heaters? I mean, did they work last year?
They did, what I'm worried about, I'll take this first, I'm not worried about everybody's comfort. I'm worried about our pipes freezing in the walls. Most of our water pipes run up in the ceiling. So, I'm more worried about keeping heat in the building for that. But to answer your question, yes, it kept everything maybe not comfortable to work in per se. I have a heater right next to you, but it does keep the building warm enough that it doesn't allow the pipes to freeze.
I mean, do we need to think about larger unit
No,
somewhere?
no,
Another one?
we got some pretty cold weather this last winter, and we could still keep it above 60 degrees in here. So it's, and then the office staff, they can put little heaters next to them and stuff like that, if they have to.
Right.
Except for Erin, she's got one there even in the summertime, so. But, yeah, there are things we can do. I will get additional heaters if we need them.
Okay,
But if I can
we don't
keep it
wanna,
60, 65 in here at night, then, one, the heater doesn't have to work as hard in the morning once we get here, it's on. It's set for night and day. So, but these portable heaters are working, especially in the bathrooms. The bathrooms are what get the coldest and that cool the most water pipes on it. So if you go into either one of the restrooms, you'll see that we run those heaters quite a bit.
You want to just put in some wood burning stoves, little ambiance?
Attachments.
oh, we'll
Oh,
definitely.
you saw the attachment to the cost, estimated cost.
Chimney.
I had Wayside just give me a real general, what's the minimum, what do you think the maximum is? To be, he sent me $2,000 to $7,000. If he actually has to go physically survey it, it's probably gonna land around 4,500, 5,000. And then the flow chart will show you that we're going on rock bottom flow. No, it's difficult, but we're doing a pretty good job. The plant's still producing a very low TSS. Then,
All right, old business. Avalon Pump Station Project. And you sort of talked about that a little bit, didn't you?
Yeah, it is progressing. You haven't seen it. We still have the drawing. We're gonna have to modify some of the pages. Because I want them to rearrange what some of the layout is inside the pump station. But other than that, it's kind of minor. I mean, you're not gonna see anything real noticeable to you guys. It's more of equipment and piping layout.
Are there still any owners that we need to get on board or not? What's
What we're,
that situation?
soon as I get placement of everything, placement of the wet wells, the valve vaults, then we'll know which side of the property that it's actually going to land.
Okay,
So I know the property owners that are on the east side, all of those that already have the condos, the houses already there, off that Hillsdale portion, they're all for running the sewer line so they can hook to it. The problem is
that
the other
gets rid
side.
of their are they the ones on ejector pumps?
Yes, yeah,
Okay,
yeah. So they're the ones, they seem excited about it. So there are some property owners now. We have the 3 or 4 easements now when we purchased it. We might have to change the design of the line where it goes up, goes over to the other properties, and then if any of them refuse to give us service, if they refuse to let us lay the pipe, they probably won't put a ladder under their property. It's most likely what I have mentioned with the engineers. And so we'll probably put the T's in, but not lay the lateral to the property. They'll have to pay the full cost of all that if they don't want to. If they let us through there now.
Makes sense.
And I'm not advocating that we pay any type of easement fees or compensation, because this is already increasing their value and they're not paying it for the sewer system. Otherwise, we could assess each lot for the cost of putting that sewer in. So, which complicates it even worse. But there's just some properties that have changed hands. We haven't been able to get on.
all right. Connex site update. I don't know whether this is you or more Jerry.
I have no news. I mean, I guess we did take delivery of the supplies that were part of the grant, quite a few, both provisions and water. And we formed a line and loaded them by hand into the Connex box. They're there now. And then because they were early, Rob and I went over like Craig and loaded Cape Mears in for them because their folks hadn't been expecting them. So that's all done. And we're waiting to hear about strapping the propane down and whether that's necessary for the tank to be strapped before we can fill it. Cape Mears is waiting on us to give the okay for a joint trip by propane vendor that would give us a discount because they can do 2 trips in one.
So physically where the Connex box is right now, it is mounted, the permits have been signed off. It's welded down, it's perfect.
So it's on a foundation.
Yeah.
All that.
So the two portions hanging out on what Jerry mentioned about the propane. I was told by the one that delivered the propane tank that it has to be strapped. It's already on the cinder blocks that it was supposed to be mounted on. It's now in its proper place. It's 10 feet back away from the Connex box. They made up enough line where you can run, I think it's 100 feet, 120 feet to wherever you put the generator. You can't run those generators inside the Connex box, but yeah. So he's the one that said that it has to be strapped down.
I've been writing Marlene, and I've written her 3 times because that was strapping it down. It's supposed to be part of what Slick Rick is supposed to do as part of the grant thing.
Right.
And I'm not getting a response from her. And so we're on hold to find it. I guess that tells me we have to verify that that's true.
Yes.
And we're trying to contact the vendor, say, will you fill it without being strapped, or is that required? At the same time, we're trying to get it strapped.
Right. And I thought that when we delivered it, that is something they offer, but you have to pay for that. It's the same, it's not included with the delivery charge and the fuel. So I think they do offer that from,
They,
uh,
fixed resilience.
not Fixed Resilience, the actual propane company that will be hired to
Okay.
deliver propane.
We think fixed resilience is supposed to
Okay.
extract
Okay.
it. So that's for free.
And then they can also do, I think I talked to you both about this, to fill your little propane bottles. They do make that piece. I think they've talked to you about
Yeah.
it, that you can gravity.
Yeah, we're getting the gravity.
Yeah, I didn't even know that was awesome. So no powers needed. The only other thing, and I don't know if you know about this, Jeff, but the propane, company said, once the little bottles are filled with propane, you're not supposed to store them on their side. And you notice this at both locations, the fireproof, container that's in there, in order to fit the gas cans and the propane bottles are on their side. Interesting. So I think that needs a little more research. I need to do a little more research on that because, I know there's RVs out there that have propane bottles on their side. That's how they mount them. The forklifts that way, but I think that bottle is made to draw. It depends on what the draw tube goes inside, but I just think you need to verify that because you may have to upsize. You may have to upsize your fireproof cabinet to stand your bottles up.
Okay.
This is FYI. And then hopefully the electrician was, now that he's in his busy time, he didn't make last week, so he'll try to be here by tomorrow. So we're still waiting for electrical to get here and do the final hookup. Pull a permit, do the final hookup. It's still running off extension cords. It's fine. There's no load on it per se. And what he hooks up is going to be the same amount drawn as it is now. So we'll just leave the extension cord on there till they fix it. I did get an email. I didn't see if you were CC'd on it from Fixed Resilience. Sent me all the information for the security cameras to log on, to set them up and log on. I don't know that that's what I should be doing.
Craig is the one that has.
Then I'll just go, I will forward that email to Craig and then I'll CC you and Rob. Is that okay?
Yeah, no, that's fine. I think we had talked about you connecting it with your security system here and we were like, whatever's easiest for you, and that would be great.
So Fixed Resilience really wants us to put it in, integrate it in with our system. And which that's fine, but as you know, I'm still trying to work on getting 3 bids to upgrade our camera system right now anyway. And where I've stopped is not the bid so much. I'm waiting for the 3rd one, but the expense, because now all the cameras they make now are cloud-based. And it's $179 a year subscription to the cloud, which I thought, well, that's not that bad. You know, I don't have to reset the budget. Till I found out it was $179 times 13 cameras annually. So the shock load on that stopped me. So we're doing other research to see what other type of camera systems are out there. What I'm running into on my own research is that everything appears to be going cloud-based. SDAO at the conference, at the training this morning, said everything is going cloud-based for security reasons. So if they can get into your cameras, into your building through your cameras, they'll do that. So that's why they're recommending, and they came up with water and wastewater plants were at the top to go to cloud-based security systems. So I just got that, like I said, a few hours ago. So, but anyway, I got all the, I guess, codes and stuff like that for those cameras. But I would rather meet with you guys first and we'll figure out again. But we don't have a problem integrating. It's just 3 more cameras and just give us a wider view of the property.
Yeah, I thought we had adequate security, but you've already got going. So,
well, it's just its age. We do with the fencing and all that stuff.
So no, we're not pressing.
No,
This is all about accommodating, which easy, which you're doing.
It's safer now than it probably is just about anywhere else anyway.
It's probably one of the safest ones in the state.
Yeah.
Wasn't there some talk of whether the Starlink cameras would be placed up on top of the telephone pole?
The only talk I heard about that was that, yeah, put them up there and let them run.
We're gonna forgo that right now because we got a
Okay.
bunch of antenna work going on and we don't know if that cameras can be installed upside down. And
And you were gonna fly the drone and see
yeah, Mark
what it
hasn't
looked like, but
gotten
you're
any
gonna
of
hold
that,
off.
so I think we're gonna hold
What,
that.
what I'm getting from fixed resilience is that the way they're placed now, it will give us a view of on that back area, the back of our shop back there, and then out front, it gives us a wider view, and it gives us a more of a view looking this way too, what our cameras don't cover. So there is a benefit to it, but I haven't seen the angle, the wide angle lens on how they work. But those cameras are a higher resolution than the ones we have. So most likely you'll have a much clearer view with those. And of course, FBI says if somebody breaks in, if you have old cameras, when they go to expand them to try to get a face or a license plate number or something, the pixels are too big and they can't clear it up. But these type of cameras, I guess they can zoom in on them quite a bit, expand them and get clearer facial pictures, clear, identify vehicles, license plate numbers, things like that. So,
That's why we're gonna have to give up our life of crime. The cameras are too good.
and then the last thing I have, it's not on my district report, but I was approached by the contractor for PUD for this substation. They're gonna be shutting that down. They can't get the parts to finish it. They won't be back until between January and March
What?
sometime.
You're telling the Oceansiders some hot information here.
You don't notice?
No, they've been telling me consistently it was gonna be up this year.
We've been asked if they could store their 240-foot Connex boxes up here because they don't want to leave them down there without.
You probably need to call them to verify, but this is pretty good information
It's juicy.
directly from their contractor.
Right now I'm in trouble. But anyway, so you might see a couple of Connex boxes just stored there for the winter. We don't want it to happen to their equipment either. And so they're not gonna have anybody on site. I know that part of the wire has been pulled, part of the cable's been pulled. You can see the pole sticking up with some cable on them. Yes, the brake on the drum that they unspool the wire with broke. It seized up, so they couldn't pull in the wire. So they have sections. Plus, they're having problems with the power poles that they put up through some of that marshy area or through the flatlands there where it's in a flood zone. Some of them are going to have to be redone because they're starting to tilt a little bit.
Really?
Now I feel like I just opened a Pandora's box here. But anyway, so it looks like, when I spoke to the, foreman, he left last Friday at noon and won't be back in Texas now until the rest of this. There'll still be some more work now for the next month or two, but you won't see any final wires.
Jerry, can I yell out, stop the presses?
So, and one of my questions was, so there won't be any backup power, because it would keep us alive too, we won't be running on generator. Where it doesn't look like we're gonna have to have this.
Good to know.
I didn't get that from PUD, but I did get that from the PUD's contractor.
That's better.
I didn't know if you were going to discuss that or not.
Well, yeah, no, I was going to.
When you talked about Avalon, I was thinking, all right, well, here's your opportunity, but you waited.
Yeah, well,
More dramatic effect.
it's two separate issues.
Yeah.
Actually, to be honest, I almost forgot.
All right. Anything else on the Connex box?
No.
In regard to the workshop, I have nothing new to report. I don't know if anybody else has anything new to report. I want to keep it on the old business because we do need to move forward with those items. And part of my excuse is trying to work on the low income assistance program. So if there's nothing on the workshop, I'll proceed with the low-income assistance program memorandum. I tried to make it fairly close to what we had previously. The other outfits, PUD, Garibaldi, they provide short-term relief, like somebody is about to lose power or somebody is about to have their water shut off. They will give the individual a month or two of assistance, and they limit the amount of assistance. Our program was a little bit different. We put somebody on the program and it goes for the rest of the year. So I was thinking of going with the way PUD operates it. And then I thought, well, we have this program and this is how we did it. So why don't we just continue what we have as opposed to very short term? And then the other thing is I was trying to grapple with what kind of information does the office manager need to put somebody on the program as far as verifying their income. And when you look at what CARE requests, it isn't just a W-2. I mean, of course, a lot of their folks may have very extremely low income anyway, but they get into TANF, they get into all kinds of other things. So my thought was maybe we just have the person sign a letter, verify that they do meet the income requirements that are laid out in the documentation here. And there's a number of other things that they need to do to comply, which is, it's just a theoretical model of something. And then at the bottom, I put in that we would have this handled by the signed off by notary public, of which we have 3. But part of the idea was, well, we do know that basically the person is just verifying the signature of the person as being correct. Somebody can look at this and they think, oh my goodness, I'm signing off and they're signing off on me signing off. So it makes it seem perhaps more official than it might otherwise thought to be official. So what I was thinking was, and if somebody has some other ideas, please jump in, but having 1 or 2, this was my shot, 1 or 2 other board members and Aaron take a look at it, make any recommendations, changes, or whatever, and come back to the board next month. I was hoping to include Erin, since she is the one with some fairly recent experience with individuals, several individuals that were on the program. And one of the problems was, I think we had anybody 16 years old or older would be treated as income if they were working. And there was some frustration. Do we really want to include that person? So I just made it a blanket. Your housing family income meets these requirements. And you'll find that the income is increased rather substantially over what it was 3 years ago or so, as far as what we had before. And what I did is I used the 60% of median income documentation that PUD is using. There's a number of different types of median income out there. Some of it are for housing, other things, and they vary a bit from each other. So PUD had some 2025 income data, and so I built what this model looks like for this year on that. So with that, I'll open it up to discussion.
It was a lot of work.
Well, I got frustrated and I didn't like what I wrote and I threw that in the trash and then reworked it and based on what some of the comments were last month. And then, we also had our person we lost fairly recently that had a fairly sizable account built up. So anyway, thoughts.
John, does PUD use CARE as a conduit to
No,
get, okay,
somebody goes to care and says, I got problems. And they end up on Mondays, there's a lady at PUD that goes through it. And she does talk to care, but they provide the 2 months or whatever of assistance. And I think, I don't know whether it's 2 months or 4 months total in a given year. You can't just do it every month. You get assistance on a temporary basis and then you're done for 365 days. But I have some of that written down that I'll be happy to provide should the team here decide that they'll take another look at it. But I have that material also.
I have one question on that. With PED budget, do they have a budget that they fund this program with?
Well, yes and no. My understanding is they have, you contribute. I don't know if you've seen that block.
Checkbox.
Yeah.
And people contribute and they will match what is contributed to allocate out to those that are having difficulty.
So they do have, they do budget it off of their user fees.
Yes,
Yeah.
But
We do not do that.
right. But I mean, it is based on, they got to get the contributions up front and then they'll match that.
No, I understand.
Yeah.
I understand that.
Yeah.
But it still would affect our budget and how we have to increase our budget to cover something like that. And then, of course, it would have to be estimated. So right now you have $6,000 in there.
Mhm.
You have to do matching funds, but you would still have to have a line item. Because I did speak with the auditors about
And certainly that's open. I did not address that at all in this draft, but that could be something that would be open for discussion.
it. Yeah, the draft doesn't address that once the funds deplete, it doesn't say anything about this no longer valid.
Yeah, it does.
There was a line in there I saw online that said that.
Here, it's even on the letter that if the fund at any time drops to zero, I will be so advised and no further assistance will be rendered. But I think it's also in
Okay,
the resolution itself somewhere. So,
I don't think we'd have to do a line item change until next budget cycle because we still have the money that's in the existing account, so.
and you can't let you.
We did a supplement.
I don't think you'd have, well, if you're gonna change the budget, not add something to it. If you increase something, you're allowed 10%.
Yeah. But it seems like we can just put that to next year's budget, add a line item if we so choose.
So what I thought I saw in here this afternoon, I was reading it, is there was something about information sharing with their website. Where's that at?
That's
ensuring
section
that
7.
everything is posted on the website as far as the availability of the program, I think. Isn't that the way it was addressed? I think that was taken from the last version, pretty much. Or
Page three, section 7, are you talking about? The program should be noted on the NOSD website and indicated if possible on NOSD billing and residence. Is that?
Yep.
So I really appreciate you doing this. I mean, it's huge.
Well, and I started with the old one, but then I was trying to figure what might work, so.
Only thing I'd like to see is something that a short readable synopsis for the general public that we would use. You mentioned something about putting it in the newspaper once a year.
Mhm.
So so we would have that also a click on the website.
So it's on the front page of our website last year. I think Cynthia came up with something that we have built to this day on there.
It's something that would help us informing the community about the importance of, sending some money this way.
Could address that.
Well,
Some kind of,
Look at it.
certainly, that should be something that we discuss and come up with how we want to handle that. But I would like to have perhaps 2 board members, obviously can't be 3 because it becomes a public meeting, but have 2 board members sit down with Aaron at least once or twice in the course of the next month and chop on this and what you like, what you don't like, or what you want to change. And I will give Aaron the information that I also have, and I can send it to the other board members as far as what I've learned from PUD and so forth from the other players around the county. So I don't know if that's not something that anybody wants to do.
I'm happy to be one of the people who looks at it.
Okay.
shouldn't it be you and Simeon? Because you got all the info.
No, I'm going to provide all the info, but I've provided, in my mind, the best that I could do.
Oh, okay.
If I'd like to have a couple others, because I don't want to sit in a meeting and say, well, no, I don't think that's a good idea because, hey, leave it open. Whatever you think are ideas that would work, that might be changes. One other person.
Oh, yeah, go ahead. Either way.
I can do it.
Okay, so, all right. So, and then Aaron will be the third, and I will get together before Monday. I'm gonna be in Portland tomorrow. I'll get together the other information and send it out. That as far as what I know about the other providers of anything that's similar around the county. All right,
If you send it to my NOSD, could you drop me a text that says that I should look at my computer?
Oh. Okay. Yeah, well, understand. Okay. If there's no other questions, then I think we already talked about the idea, haven't we?
Yes, I think.
That was,
Yeah.
it just came about this week. Okay. Do we need to take a break or are we ready?
Push through.
Yeah, let's keep going.
Push through.
Yeah.
Letter from the fire department to NOSD.
Those guys.
And I don't know,
Deputy.
I'll say right up front, maybe final board action is not tonight, but who knows? But what I wanted to do is ensure that the board members and Jeff has had, even I gave it to him a little earlier, the historical documentation that existed in regard to that piece of property that they won on the courthouse steps. And I might add I had asked the question and it was provided that property, back in the day, that SDC was $100 back in 1978. And I had them pull that just so that we knew as we look at what is the situation today. So thoughts, ideas, concerns?
I'll make one clarification to your letter. The district has never waived hookup fees. The district waives user fees, monthly.
Gotcha.
user fees. So it's the same way with your fire station, and I think you have another property across the street.
Yeah, the other residents.
Yeah, that one, those were already paid. So it was just, we waived the user fees. Not the connect.
Yeah, I told John that I got some misinformation when I was, when I met with previous administration, I did not have any historical knowledge about the sale on the courthouse steps, or that they'd already asked for an abandonment of the charges, the back charges. If there's anything that the sanitary district, and I'm going to recuse myself, obviously, for abstain from a vote, but if there's anything that we can do to help, we're desperate for this project to move forward, and we're way over budget on the house itself, the manufactured house. So if there's not, we'll move forward anyway, but we would appreciate it.
Thoughts? Or let me throw this out. I don't, we want to help and be as fair as possible. But on the other hand, I don't know if we might be not setting a precedent as far as giving relief for something we haven't given relief for before, that in the future could create problems for us. I don't know, but it's just a concern.
I have a question. That's a separate tax lot. Is that
Yes.
correct?
We're we're in the process of giving a covenant and joining the two lots, because of what the county requested. The reason that is, they would not allow, it was zoned as commercial, we could not put a residence on it. But if we combine the two lots, we are able to have a store owner residence on the lot, on our existing fire department lot. So that was all asked for by the county.
My concern, when you look at our rules on how we charge and how we do sewer hookups, if that lot, because when this all occurred, we were told that there was no plans of putting anything back on it. You just wanted the bare land.
Yep.
And so that's what that was approved on. If it's a separate tax lot and we waive, because you're requesting basically waive the SBC charge.
Yep.
Because I think is what you're requesting. Then that gives you, because obviously boards change, staffing changes. What's the next idea? We don't need this. Let's sell it. Well, now you've increased its value. And now you get to pocket, and the district has gotten nothing. The SDC charge is what funds sewer expansion to other properties. Now, if you combine those, we will look at where your current lateral is at. Then we have something to work with if it's just one tax lot. Are you following me?
Yep. And
So,
it
I'm
was,
not following it.
if it's one tax lot, they can't benefit off of not paying an SDC charge by selling off a separate lot later, like a developer would. Does that make sense? Right now, it's two tax lots.
They're combining them into one
Yeah.
lot.
Yeah.
Right now, the concern is they're two separate lots. Now, a different board can sell the separate lot and pop on. They're in process of rejoining the two pieces to be just one lot.
So
Before they
if,
go part of it, they'd have to go through a partitioning process in the future that we would know.
so if you combine it into one lot, you automatically will drop the SDC by half, right? well, not quite, down to from 13,850 down to like 7,000.
11,081.
Oh, 11,000. But anyway, that's how you could lower it and not have us set any special precedent. That considering the next attached letter that we have to discuss.
Yeah, it will be, one lot. My concern, not knowing anything about where the sewer is for the main fire station, is where the mobile home for the volunteers is gonna go is in the pretty much same place that the old house was. So there's a sewer connection
There is,
right there.
yeah, and that's what we would have you reconnect to.
Yeah,
I believe that your station is out further up in front of your station,
I think so, yeah.
your sewer connection is.
We located another one,
Yeah.
right out front.
So
So what I'm saying is, you combine it, you change it, you automatically save yourself some money, but if there's nothing in our current rules that would zero that out to zero. To follow, past would be requesting to waive the monthly sewer fee. It would be consistent on what the district has already done for the fire department.
Yeah. And Tim,
'Cause I don't think you
Tim
get
gave
that
me that
same,
information because
well, I don't think you get that same consideration from the water district. I mean,
we have,
yeah, they still charge you for water out of a hydrant, but they don't charge you for a user fee.
they don't charge us at the station. And they don't charge hydrant because it's based on emergency, so
Oh, I thought you said that you charge.
if we do training, they do charge. But my understanding is the Netarts Water is gonna waive their hookup fee and PUD is gonna waive their hookup fee. But, this is a different entity, so we're just trying to save money to get the house.
I'm just saying how we're set up right now.
So what's the relationship when we are sharing the fuel and that other little place for
Well,
the radios?
we have the IGA with the fire department. It says that we cost share 50/50 on the maintenance for the fuel station. Any type of repairs or upgrades is shared 50/50. We each pay our own fuel usage separately to the old Sheldon, something else now. And then as far as the power, the water, the sewer, the rest of the hookups that they use, even the internet comes off of ours. That's a flat fee that they
It's
pay.
about
annually.
4,000 a year for that, plus the fuel. So
So the
we consider it.
both of them are IGAs that we haven't entered on what they pay,
So when you're saying that,
but this is our tax law.
right?
Yeah.
But there's a relationship there
There's a relationship there, yes.
and it's like, it's a municipal entity,
Yes.
not a private property.
Yes.
So, I mean, my feeling is we should just go ahead and do it, but that's me.
I'm just telling you how it's set right now.
Yeah, we'd have to write new rules. We have to change our,
Well, how many fire districts are there in Netarts and Oceanside?
municipal bodies are there. There are 2 water districts, a fire district,
So
sewer district, park district, bathrooms. Not just one. I wasn't to argue with you about doing it. I'm just letting you know, it's not, I'm not one. It's
So
present.
no, it needs to be a little broader than just the fire district, because we're talking about municipal and public entities
yes,
within our respective communities.
I would, as a temporary measure, would be amenable to deferring payment. If we can do that, while we hear back on the success of their merger of the land. And also during that time, get written confirmation that other districts are waiving their SDCs. If we have written confirmation that others are doing it, then I'm open to considering it in a board meeting, the pros and cons. And I'm also very supportive of giving space to accomplish what you can do to cut it in half at the very least.
And we're in the permit process, so we'll be there for a while, as everyone is.
And
Is it going to be a residence?
So we have a program, the resident firefighter program. with
Right.
High school kids. and we train them up as EMTs and firefighters, and then we give them a 3-year contract so that they can go through paramedic school and things like that. But that provides us with full-time firefighters that are there 24/7 to supplement our volunteer base. So right now, we have 3 resident firefighters, but we have 4 more that have started the program, but we don't have any place to house them.
Okay.
So we're increasing the number of firefighter EMTs to, in that program. So that's what we're doing the housing for.
Is the Volunteer Firefighters Association helping defray some of this cost?
They pay for a lot of the training for those residents. So the housing is falling to me, but paramedic school is $20,000 and EMT school is $7,000. And
And that's what they're helping with?
yeah, so they pay for the training for the residents.
That's a lot.
So, and back to your letter, you're requesting a sewer availability letter from the district. I need to know what tax law, it depends on how I write your sewer.
Right, and
availability.
then I guess we'll wait and see what Melissa does with the.
Either way, you'll get one, there is
Yeah.
sewer available,
Yes,
but it has to be to either the one lot or it has to be
The
to the
combined.
one lot combined.
right. And I'm just waiting for Melissa to get back from county. She asked to redo the covenant, or the agreement for the covenant, the county, so it went to county legal.
Okay.
So I may be retired by the time it ever gets back, but
You know, but, so anyway, so that's one section that we need, that's really not, that we can change or anything. The second one is gonna be a board decision on the type of financial relief, how they wanna do it. how they wanna have it done.
yeah, I just wanted to let you know I'd gotten misinformation from Tim that in the past that the NOSD had waived hookup fees. So that's what I was told. And that was while we were standing out there looking at the proposed lot of where we were going to do that.
Right. The other ones were already hooked up. It's just when the fire department, fire district bought them, purchased them, that wasn't even a question. It's whether they continue paying sewer. fees or
Gotcha.
not. That's it.
I don't know, Jerry, if you could restate what you more or less proposed, but that sounded like a good course of action. That this is going to take a little while to sort through and explore how this might be handled. I don't know if you want to restate that, and we can.
To the extent it's necessary, I would move that we defer any collection of SDC on this property pending knowledge of the results of the district's efforts to merge the 2 lots into one, and therefore cut the amount we might be waiving in half, or obtaining that relief by yourself of half. And also, in the meantime, also use that time to obtain written confirmation of what other public districts, social districts, if any, are waiving their hookup charges.
Right.
In order to factor that into our consideration and then bring it up for decision again once we have all those variables filled. You got all that?
Thank goodness.
Sure hope there's a good recording.
I did
Okay.
put on recording.
And I have a second on Jerry's motion.
I'll second it.
Right, any further discussion? Those, except for Jeff, in favor of the motion, say aye.
Well, don't we get to talk about it after the room? So you can leave.
Oh, absolutely. I'll just take a nap here.
All right.
Okay,
Abstain. Okay.
I'll just add in that the fire district has been a great partner to work with.
Oh, yeah.
Every endeavor we've done.
Yeah.
So,
I was just bummed that I got misinformation and had already fired off a letter and John showed up and was like,
just use a lot of terms.
yeah.
then, let's see, the Oregon paid leave policy, motion to accept the policy is written.
It has been redrafted by council. Oh, I'm sorry, wait for your kitchen motion. I'm sorry.
Can I have a motion?
I'll move.
Second.
Discussion. Your question.
This is final version to council.
Yes.
Been presented with any other, we need to talk about it and final.
No, not
Okay.
that I know of. And the chain emails from
Yeah.
Mark and
Yeah,
from
the
Mike.
final.
I'll comment that whenever we ran into these, there was always the issue of what do you do with people that are trying to claim workers' comp and short-term disability and family leave all at once, and no agreement ever provided to do with that, and it turned into a wrangling. The workers' comp lawyers pointed with the employment lawyers pointed back, and we're continuing that in that tried and true practice of not addressing.
Any other comments or discussion? All in favor of accepting the policy as written, say aye.
Aye.
The,
Do we need a separate motion on the resolution?
That's how we always did it. I looked back with our other policies, so I don't know. We did that with it.
We did second.
Yeah,
So I move, resolution 2506, resolution adopting paid leave policy for the Netarts-Oceanside Sanitary District be approved.
And I'll second.
okay. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. All right. Under correspondence, we have a new item that Simeon was brought to our attention. Is in regard to Pam Zielinski as a member of the Oceanside Water District, asking whether we would consider reducing our SDC so that it would help promote development in our Netarts and Oceanside communities. So I don't know in my mind that there needs to be really any action taken, but certainly we can open this up for discussion and then perhaps defer it to next month, since we just received this correspondence a few minutes ago.
Yeah, and I apologize that I apparently missed the earlier.
You just received it yesterday,
Yeah,
so
When,
no, she originally sent it on the 1st of September.
it's on the web.
when it says on behalf of the water district, I would get that.
She's on the water district.
She's a board member.
Oh, okay.
She used the term commissioner.
Okay, well,
I would support deferring this for a month.
I was not clear in it. She's
Okay.
talking about a temporary reduction.
There's
What-
lots of lack of clarity.
Time frame on that is, yeah.
So the board needs to consider why we have system development charge, why it's where it's at. It's also allowed us to expand. More lots can connect the Avalon project. That's all being paid through system development charge.
I do believe, was it 2 or 3 years ago that we had the study done?
Yes.
And that resulted in the current rate being established, that it's pretty well documented. So I don't know. Where do we want to go from here? Just defer it till next month, think about it and discuss it further.
Yes.
Any other thoughts?
Should I respond to Pam and tell her that the board will consider it at the October board meeting?
We just tell her, take into consideration.
Okay.
Yeah, you don't want to have to tell her, okay, we talked about it in October and we still aren't done.
We're basically tabling it for right now. And
In lieu of the timing, in view of the timing, receipt of it. Okay, that's it.
okay. no executive session. Anybody have any other comments this evening? If not, we're adjourned at
6:50.
6:50.
Thanks, everybody.
Convenient for you.
Yeah, you have to, on that, looking at this, can you tell me